Hey everybody, welcome once again to a Low on Health game video review where I go over some of the games I've been playing recently. All truth be told, I haven't been playing that many games, period. I've been working a lot and just kind of sleeping a lot and just trying to keep my energy level up. And it's also the summer drought, so there's not that many really great games out there. But I did play one new game recently, Fear 3, which of course is a basic first-person shooter. In which case, for this particular one, I'm going to throw up this video from Doomsday Arcade, which is a little web series that was on The Escapist, which was just phenomenal. It has a lot of video game parody and whatnot. And I'm just going to kind of play this in the background because they did a little Fear parody. But as most of you know, Fear is basically, it's just a first-person shooter. And it's one of those spooky kind of shock horror first-person shooters out there, which we all kind of know these things are a dime a dozen. To a point they all kind of, are basically based off of Doom at the very premise of just kind of supernatural kind of whatnot. And I will say the Fear series is kind of generic in a sense, but for some reason I enjoy it. The first one was okay. The second one I really got into it. The story kind of came ahead more, and you kind of got more involved. And I kind of just like the overall kind of. I don't really like the shock horror or whatnot, but it's very, like they mentioned here, it's just kind of mildly startling, and it'll just keep me playing through it. I mean, I've not been disappointed with the games, knowing what they are, going in full face value, knowing these are basic first-person shooters. And the main gimmick, of course, for the majority of them is you have kind of like the bullet time, the slow down reaction time to it that started all the way back when Max Payne, another great series, mainly because of its narrative, but has been in every other single game that you can think of, the bullet time slow-mo stuff. But this game's main kind of premise there is having that kind of slow-mo thing. But I enjoy it, I like kind of first-person shooters just that are designed well and that are solid. This is definitely one of them. The third one is really good. I mean, they kind of sum up the trilogy and they kind of leave it open a little bit. The third one also has some cool co-op moments, and the ending's even pretty cool depending on how you play it co-op or how you play it. The ending will be kind of sort of different, which I really much enjoyed. But the Fear series it's a first-person shooter. If you've never played them before, I say give them a try. I'm gonna say they're kind of like the Condemned series is another kind of generic series you might have played on the PC or Xbox or PlayStation. Then now these games are cheap. Go back and play them. They're good, solid games. I mean, as always, they maybe take 6 to 8 hours the most to play and beat. So I mean, they're worth it just to kind of zone out on. You zone out and watch TV. You can easily zone out and play a first-person shooter. So nonetheless, I enjoy the Fear series. I will say though that my second one is kind of more my favorite. The game is kind of just generic, in which case the enemies are kind of always the same. The guns are kind of varied, but I mean, you kind of go through the same thing over and over again. I will say the third game does have a nice variety of locales. You kind of go from like, suburbia, supermarket, the basic industrial stuff. But just a good solid game and a good solid series. I definitely recommend it to people. And I also want to recommend to people Doomsday Arcade on The Escapist. If you love video games and you love video game humor, Doomsday Arcade is just awesome. Very startling, the game in itself. But as always, thank you guys for watching. You can see my breakdown down there, all the notes and whatnot, and have a good day.